What's going on, guys? Can you guys hear me? We good? It's the family in the building. Looking at my other screen to make sure everything is good. Grab another tab, throw it over here. Pull up the trading view. Phone on, do not disturb. Alright, should be good, money. These shorts is get active. I had to stand up today. I wanted to stand up today so I can continue to keep so I can apply exactly what I'm trying to tell you guys as well. Let me see something. All right. Is it? Can you guys hear me? Just send a yes or no in the chat, just so I can make sure we good, money. Because I don't want it to be choppy and laggy as I'm going in. Can I fix my camera? Bring it down some. We should be good, money now, right? Yeah, we should be good, money. Let me move the mic up a little bit. What's going on, guys? Let me see. Share screen. Gotta break this down. The usual. Go over the charts real quick. Then we're going to talk about cool. Share screen. Oh wow. Boom. 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 Alright, what's going on, my beautiful brothers and my beautiful sisters? Kings and queens. Let's get active, man. I'm gonna break down the charts. Yesterday wasn't really nothing to look at. The market did gap yesterday. Crazy gap on gold. Price did come back to fill this. I'm gonna do a full top down. Do I have my gold charts marked up? I do not. Cool. Yes, I do. Perfect. I'm gonna do a full top down on exactly what I'm looking at for gold and what I'm gonna be looking for in the upcoming hours, potentially, depending on what gold does. What I want to start off with is on the weekly time frame, I've observed something, and this is how I've adjusted my system to be able to trade during any season in the market. It is actually showing up during every season in the market. And when the market is in these ranges, I've seen this so many times of I know what a consolidation is, but how do you trade? And I ask myself, is like, how can I be able to trade a pair that I actually really want to trade, for example, gold, when the market has been ranging for months, weeks? And to me, it's very simple. It's just scaling out and looking at it on a bigger scale just to see what the market is overall doing. Because if the market is ranging for just a short period of time, you don't really get too caught up on the direction. You don't really lose track of the direction. But when you show up to the market every single day, and every single day you see a different trend. One day is bullish, one day is bearish, next day is bullish, then it's ranging, then it's bearish, and that happens over for a long, extended period of time. What happens is you can easily lose sight of overall where is the market heading, up or down? What is it overall doing from a longer term perspective? So for me, what I had to do was I just scaled out a little bit. Time frames, my key areas, everything stays the same when it comes to just viewing what the market did. I went to a weekly time frame and I looked and I saw these two key areas, which is why I have this as weekly. All price is doing for the past few months has just been trading sideways. So gold is still overall bullish, but for the past few months, it has been just trading sideways. So what I did was identify the low of this range and the high of this range. Because if and when price does break out of one of these ways, whether it's bullish or bearish, price is going to have a move up and a big move up, a very big move up. When you see the bigger the time frames, the bigger the move. When gold had this huge rally, you got to understand that gold was in this range here from, this is weeks. This was the 5th of the 25, and then it actually broke out that September, because I remember, oh, October, not October, August. And this was month worth of consolidation. And look at this huge leg that happened. The same thing's going to happen when price breaks out of either one of these directions. If price ends up breaking up to the upside, it's going to go up a lot even higher. So when that does happen, that's when you are really going to be able to maximize on the profits. Right now, we're just getting these base hits on gold. And then when it does break out to either the upside or the downside, that's when we're really going to be able to scale. And this is how I've been able to actually build and be able to trade. I know during these bounce play seasons, these consolidating ranges, this is when I'm looking to catch those base hits. When the market breaks out of the range, that's when you scale. And that's when you're able to take your account from a small amount to that bigger amount. But you use these in between. You don't try to flip your account in this in between. You actually try to grow the account, slowly build up equity. So if you have a, because I know a lot of you guys, and I know the audience that I'm speaking to, a lot of you guys don't have like $50,000 accounts, $10,000 accounts, unless you have a prop firm account, that's different. But live account, a lot of people that come to me, you trade on live accounts, less than $1,000 in your trading account. You get in these base hits. Let's say you have a $500 account, $400 account, whatever the account is, and you're getting these $50 wins, $30 wins, $50 wins, $30 wins, $50 wins, $30 wins, and you done took a $400 account over a, let's say, months period of time or a few weeks of time. You took that $400 account to, let's say, $1,000 over an extended period of time. And when that breakout happens, that's when you take that $1,000 account to $20,000 plus or $10,000 plus, because you done build up so much equity. So now you have more risk to play with. If you're just starting off on a $400 account, then you don't have no equity. But if you build a $400 account to a $1,000 account, you have $600 of equity. So if you wanted to, let's say you were originally risking $50, $30, $40, you got $600 of equity. If you get a nice setup that potentially could play out, you could risk $200, $100, $300. And that one trade plays out to a 1 to 4. Let's say you risk $300, 1 to 4. It's $1,200 trade. Scaling accounts is very simple. You just gotta have an actual system behind it. And this is what I'm observing now in gold, because if you guys know me, you guys know the new setup that I've added to my playbook since last year, because I've seen it so many times, the domain expansion. If gold makes a domain expansion on a weekly time frame, that's the level up season. That is the just, if gold makes a weekly domain expansion, that is the level up season. And I've observed on the weekly time frame, gold is moving sideways, but it's still moving bullish. Cool. That's all I really needed to see on the weekly time frame for me to get the concept of understanding what I'm going to be looking for on my lower time frames. So that's why I have these red lines as the weekly, just so I know that if gold breaks out of one of these and actually continues to keep trading below it, not just wick below, not just the actual break and a close, I'm talking a break, close, retest, and continue to keep going, then gold has a higher probability of coming down into these next zones down here. As long as price maintains above here, price could potentially come way back up to here over the long period of time. Right now, I'm going to hone in and focus on these key zones right here. I have my 4-hour zones. As long as price maintains above 4,500, price could potentially come back up into 45,700. And I remember I was on a call with Keisha, because with the one-on-one, we are building out her complete trading system, and we are literally like right there. Because how I look at it, right, with anybody that I work with, it's one big puzzle. We have all of the pieces. It's not like we got to go buy and find out the pieces. The box comes with all the pieces. The box isn't missing out any of the pieces. We have all the pieces. All we have to do is actually put them together so we can see the actual picture. That's where I come in. And it's like, yo, okay, this piece, you try to put it here. No, it doesn't fit here. Cool. What if we tried to put it here? This is where it fits at. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And with her, we're to the point where we can see the picture that we're actually, building. We have a couple more pieces left. We started off to the we where we started off with her was complete. She was just trying to get better with candlesticks, like actually understand candlesticks. Then it was market structure. Then it was her support resistance. Then once we got all of that, I observed that the thing for her was she just didn't have a system. She didn't have an actual system of a my 4 hour time frame does this. This is my exact time frame correlation, my time frame analysis. And the biggest thing, it's the top part when you start off on the bigger picture, it was easy for her. The thing for her is that the closer you get to that buy or sell button, that's where everything goes out the window. So I had to identify actually, do you actually have playbooks, like an actual entry system? These need to be checked out for me to enter. No, that's where everything changed. And she literally just texted me this morning and said that she had one of her aha moments with one of the setups because she used to take breakouts, but she never had an actual clear rule book on breakouts. So she was just taking them based on her emotions. And now that she actually has a rule book on it, it was, oh, that makes sense. So once we finish building out the setups, then we're going to build out her trade management, and then we're going to have everything put together so then she can go to stage two, which is actually practice. But when I was talking to her, when we had our one-on-one session Sunday, right? When I was talking to her, I was talking about this. I was like, if gold does hold a support here, price could get up into this next area. It literally gapped up there in the first market open. I looked because I didn't have any alerts. I just opened up my phone. I said, oh, price got the resistance already. Same concept here. If gold holds as support above this area, 4 hour zone, price could potentially come up into the next 4 hour zone. If price breaks below, price could potentially come down into this weekly zone. And that's what I'm looking at for gold. So right now in this instant, buys are the main key point for me because price is holding above a 4 hour support, which is holds a lot more weight. Now, when it comes to a 1 hour zone, there's an area right here where I'm actually just going to draw a box. Let me see. Boom. Here. Boom. And looking at gold right here in this area, this is a very, very key point that I want to observe and see. Because price rejected. We see the shift of structure happening on the 5 minute time frame. Price rejected it. If price does come back down and starts maintaining above here, then I can see those buys up into the highs up here. If price does break below, if price breaks below this area, then price could potentially come down into here. And if price holds here, buys could be up into this area, up into the highs that form, and then up into here, and then so forth and so forth. That's what the analysis will look like for gold on me. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. And I'm not going to go over Nas or UJ or the other pairs. I just wanted to go over mainly gold and just break that down because gold is in one of those seasons. And I wanted to say this to build up to the conversation that I want to go over with you guys, which is being able to, because let's go to here. What I've observed, right? Let's do a card. Let's see. Achieve any goal working a job. So the thing that I've observed, right, when it comes to teaching and giving wisdom over the past few years of being in this position, I've observed something very, very key. The reason why I have to teach different, and I have to, and this is the biggest thing that changed for me in my mindset, is you have to put yourself in the shoes of that person, of your audience. The reason why I say this, I can't speak to you guys. You guys know the typical, right? The if you want it bad enough, you will figure it out. If you want it bad enough, you'll put in the work. If you want it bad enough, you're gonna do it. And just saying that is surface level. All of you guys want it bad enough, regardless if you don't put in the work every day to do it. You do want it bad enough. And you want to know how to identify this? Take your exact same situation, exactly where you're at in life. Nothing drastically changes. What is that thing for you? Write it out in the comments. I want everybody to write it out in the comments. What is that thing for you? That passion, that thing that is like, for example, let's say trading, it's trading. Let's say you want to hone in on another business, you want to build your own business, you want to hone in on your fitness, on your health. What is that thing for you that you want to replace your 9 to 5, your job? Let me know what that thing is. I want you all to just write that out. And then I will, because I want this to be engaging, because I want you guys to actually understand where I'm coming from. Teresa said trading. Perfect. Quite sure I know a lot of you guys is trading. Trading as well. Trading as well. Majority, I know a lot of you guys is trading. I'm quite sure Rico is trading as well. Rico, if you guys don't know, Rico, and I always got to show love, right? Rico, he's back in the building, right? Rico was actually my first ever client that I've ever had when I did my one-on-one. He was the one that the first person that ever came to me, and this was a year or two ago when I first started my business. God brought him into my life, and I'm so grateful, for him. And I'll always, show credit and give God credit because he came. This remember how I tell you guys about all the time with that one person, that person hit me up. That's the guy. Rico's the one that just hit me up out of the blue. I was ghost off of social media, and he just hit me up and said, "Yo, Sir, like, do you offer one-on-one mentorship?" And I'm like, I haven't been on social media for like 2, 3 months. You just randomly hit me up, and this was during that exact season where I said, "All right, guys." I remember when I got the offer to be a part of the prop firm. I said no because I said next time that I do something, I'm gonna do my own thing, and I said I'm gonna just go ghost, lock in, and just do my own thing. And that one no turned into where I'm at now. Because if I would have said yes, I wouldn't be able to do the one-on-one with him like how I wanted to, because I would have been so tied up with that, and that just opened up the door to it. So be obedient. So the thing that I've learned over these years, right, is back to what I was saying. You guys said your goals, trading, right? So trading is your thing. So let's take your same exact situation. And the only thing that changes, your schedule doesn't change, none of that. The one thing that changes is that 9 to 5 is removed. That's the only thing that changes. What would you be doing? I'm quite sure your mind is like, yo, I would have all this time to just lock in on trading. I could just study this. I would have no confusion. I would not be tired. I could just fully lock in. It's like, yo, I know my progress on trading will be crazy. I know I'll become profitable. I know I'll become successful. If that is the case, then that shows that you do want it bad enough. You just don't know how to navigate to get to that point. You just don't, your mind has outgrown your situation, and you don't know how to get your situation to match your mindset. So you have this huge gap. Your mind is way up here. Your mind is far, far outgrown your situation. Situation is down here, but this in between. How do we get my situation to catch up to here? That's the thing that people don't know how to do. That's the issue. It's not that you don't want it bad enough, because your mind is already here. You definitely want it bad enough. Your situation. How do I get it up to here? And this is exactly how you do it. So what you do is identify what that thing is for you, which is for a lot of you guys is trading. So let's use trading as the example. We're gonna do the exact same. The reason why I know this stuff works, bro, I follow the exact same system flow, the 5-step system flow that I teach everybody, that I teach, especially with my one-on-ones. Every single person, we follow this same exact step. That's why I know, I guarantee that this works. So you start off with clarity, stage 1. So we're gonna do the same thing. Let's build this out together. We're gonna start off with clarity stage one. Clarity stage one, boom. And then you identify with trading. What are all the things? So let's take trading. So what are the other things that you have certainty on? Certainty. Actually, no. All of the things that you have clarity on versus. I remember me and Keisha was on the call when we was building this out, and I said unclarity, and I was like, "Is that a word?" And she was like, "I don't think so, but we're gonna make it one today, right?" Unclarity. So identify everything that you have clarity on in your trading system and everything that you don't have clarity on. Once you write that out, stop focusing on this. Focus on this. This is where all of your focus is going to go during your sessions. Why are you studying something that you already know how to do? You already know how to mark off support resistance. You already know market structure. You already know this. Why do you keep studying that? You're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy. That's what's prolonging you from achieving that goal. Being able to actually achieve that goal, this is trading that we're talking about. This applies to anything, but even with your health, it applies to that as well. You guys think that you have to leave your job or you have to hit a certain dollar amount or you have to get to this point in order to actually start seeing progress. You guys don't understand. You've been wasting so much time and so much years where you could have been gotten to that point if you would have just understood how to get to that point. Why are you focusing on things you know that you have to work with your situation? If you have a 9 to 5 job, you cannot trade New York session. That's just the reality of it, bro. You can't trade during market open. You work a 9 to 5. You have to be okay with that and understand that. You have to be able to adjust to what your current situation to be able to do that. You don't wait until you get out of that situation. What if it takes you 6 months to get to the point where you can get out of that situation? You just wasted 6 months that you could have used, and you could have cut that 6 months in half potentially to maybe even less. If you have clarity on something, stop spending time studying it. If you already know support resistance, market structure, candlesticks, stop studying that. You're wasting your time. You only got 3, 4, 5 hours or 2, 3 hours to spare. Stop wasting it on things that you have clarity with. Do you try to sit here and analyze the way that you walk every single day? No, because you all know how to walk. You all know how to stand up. You all know how to blink. You just blink naturally. You're not sitting here, okay, blink once, okay, blink twice. No, you're not focused on that. So identify your list of unclarity things. Pick one from the unclarity list. So you pick one from the unclarity list, and that is going to be your focus point all throughout the day. And what you're going to do is do micro sessions throughout the day. I call this, and I have a full video that's going to be an actual course that breaks this fully down, but I call it the ripple effect. Wanted to give a name to it, so we're going to call it the ripple effect, right? So what this looks like is, let's say you identify that one thing is, you guys give me something, because I like to do this. Give me something from your unclarity list, because I don't want to use my examples, because the whole point is to actually help you guys. So give me one thing from your unclarity list. Anybody, any example, and I will break it down. Exactly how this will look like on a day-to-day basis. Make sure. Okay, cool. I was frozen for a second. All right, cool. Let me see. Micro sessions of the day. Cool, perfect. If you guys can't say one, I'll come up with one. Let's say the thing that you want to focus on is support resistance. Let's say that's the thing that you want to do. Support and resistance. Cool. Support resistance. That is the thing that you want to focus on. What it will look like on a day-to-day basis. is when you wake up, all you're doing is you keep the same schedule. You keep your entire, one second. All right, cool. So all it does is analyze what you do on a day-to-day basis. In between those times where think about all the opportunities. It's like, okay, when trading support resistance, you use your phone. Analyze when are the times that you're on your phone. When you wake up in the morning, do you scroll through social media for a little bit? Do you wake up and do you sit there and lay down in the bed for 5, 10 minutes? Do you wake up and what do you do when you first wake up? What does that look like? You gotta make sacrifices. What do you do throughout your day? Just literally just analyze yourself, and if you can't analyze what your day looks like and the actions that you take, you got to be able, that's an issue because you got to be aware of what you're doing. You have control because the word says that God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. You should be able to understand what you're doing. Every action that you take, you're taking an action. You should not know what you're doing. So what do you do in the morning when you wake up? What is your first few steps? If it's getting on your phone, if it's doing anything that's not that goal, all you simply do is you don't have to get up 3, 4, 5 hours earlier. No, just simply instead of scrolling through social media for 5 minutes, go onto your charts and mark up support resistance for 5 minutes. That's literally it. And then when you're done with that, when you're doing your morning routine, if the first thing that you do is go take a poop, then what you do is on your phone, instead of scrolling through social media for that however long it takes you to take that poop, then you will mark up support resistance some more. Go throughout your continued routine, you make breakfast. As your eggs is cooking, as whatever it is that you're cooking, let's say you did put something in the microwave for 2, 3 minutes. That 2, 3 minutes get you another micro session in. You go eat your breakfast instead of scrolling through social media, get you another micro session in. You guys get where I'm coming from now. You go throughout your day. Let's say you work at your job, and if you have those opportunities of downtime, depending on what you do, if you don't have no customers or anybody there, you can get on your phone and check your phone for a little bit. Micro session. You go on your lunch break. Micro session. You would accumulate so much micro sessions throughout the day. So by the time you come home at night, you done already accumulated so much volume throughout the day. You're not feeling like, yo, it's at the end of the day and I feel like I need to study trading and I haven't put in any work. So I beat myself up. I didn't get any work. I'm putting myself down. Damn, I'm super tired. I can't put in an hour or two to study. Like I'm super tired. You're not gonna think that because it's like, yo, I done built up so much volume. I did a whole bunch of support resistance. Now, by the time you get to the end of the day, it's not trying to, if you want to get a deeper dive study in support resistance, cool. But instead, now you can use that end of the day time to actually review, to critique. You done got so many micro sessions and you're gonna see some type of a pattern. Let's say support resistance, right? You identified, okay, during these micro sessions, I'm liking the way that I was trying to identify, do I want to mark them off on my bodies? Do I want to do it on the wicks? Do I want to just do boxes? Like, how do I want to do it? At the end of the day, I'm seeing that when I was marking them off on the bodies, I like that. So tomorrow, when I do my micro sessions, I'm gonna just draw my key areas on the bodies and see how that goes. I'm gonna just focus on this tomorrow. Okay, you see how you're spending that end of the time reviewing and refining instead of practicing. So you're already a step ahead because you got those micro sessions throughout the day. Now the next day you may go and see you only draw them at the body all day. That's all you focused on. And by the end of the day, you're like, yo, I like that. This actually is consistent over a long time. Boom. I'm gonna keep doing it like this. And in literally just 2 days, you got your support resistance done. Now you know exactly how you're gonna do your support resistance. Now, during that review session at the end of the day, it's like, okay, what's the next thing on my list? And you do that exact same process. Keep on doing that. The end of the days now become your review session from your micro sessions throughout the day. It's no longer the end of the day is now my study session. You guys see how just doing that alone, you're already steps ahead of that person who comes home and it's like, yo, one time you're spending 15 minutes, the next you're doing an hour, next you're not studying for 2, 3 days, then you do it for 5 minutes, then you're super tired to do it for this, and then it's all over the place. And then when you have those days off, like the weekends or whatever your days off, that's when you do those deep dive, full in depth 5 hour, 4 hour, 3 hour sessions. You have all the energy in the world. Put all your effort into doing that because that's what you can do during this season. But by the time, instead of waiting until the weekend to do those deep dive sessions, just think about that. Visualize two different people. The person that only waits to the end of the day to study, who's super burned out, who's going to be inconsistent, and only waits until the weekends to actually do those deep dive sessions, versus the person who does it every single day and do micro sessions every single day. And they use those weekends to really fully hone in, really fully study. Who's going to make the faster progress in a shorter period of time? This person, obviously. This is how you achieve your goals in your situation. And when you observe this, you will see that you can achieve those goals a lot faster than you think. That one small thing, and you see, this wasn't no, okay, you got to get up 3, 4 hours earlier. You got to stay up later, X, Y, and Z. You literally just did your entire same thing that you do throughout the day. All you did was started replacing those bad habits with good habits. And not only do you build up upon yourself, but you also, once again, you replace bad habits with good habits. You're building upon building upon building. Now you're habit stacking. And what you do is, let's say that social media doom scrolling was your issue. You didn't broke free from that. Because now every time you get on your phone, you're just like, yo, let me check. Let me support resistance, support resistance. Let me actually get closer to my goal. It's not let me waste time away from it. It's let me get a little bit closer to my goal. That is literally all you have to do. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you want to trade during specific times, then like I said, observe that time where you can actually come and trade. If you work a 9 to 5, you can't trade New York session. Stop trying to trade New York session. Stop wasting your time and energy trying to trade New York session. You can't do that right now. It's not that season right now. It's just not. Trade when you can. If you can trade X, Y, and Z during Asian session, trade during that. And then on top of that, if you want to trade a little bit earlier, think about this is how it works as well with the study sessions. If you've been so hold on. If you've been sorry, my uh chat had froze for a second. But if you've been so locked in with the micro sessions, by the time you get to the end of the day, let's say you do want to wake up a little bit earlier to trade London session or whatever session that you want to trade, you're not burning yourself out at the end of the day because you don't feel like I haven't done enough. Guess what? You don't need to spend a study session at the end of the day because you already got them all throughout the day. And now what happens is during that time that you would have been spending that extra 1, 2, 3 hours trying to actually study, you already did that. Now you can go to sleep a little bit earlier. Cool. Now you can get up during London session and trade London session for a little bit. Get you that micro trading session in. If you know that, yo, I got this amount of time, cool. If you know you got an hour, let's say you do get up at 3 o'clock and you know you just got a window between 3 and 5 in the morning to lock in before you gotta do your get ready for work. Let's just say you got from 3 to 5 in the morning. Let's just say that 2 hour window. If you know that, what would be the wisest decision to make the most progress? Trade the pairs that move the most during that time. Trade the pairs that give you the most opportunities during that time. Gold, indices, faster moving pairs. Why are you trading AUD USD during London session when it doesn't move as much as gold does? If gold is the pair that you want to trade, stop trading AUD USD. Trade gold. Trade the actual pair that you want to trade. If you want to trade indices, it doesn't matter what level that you're at. You want to trade indices. Trade indices. If you don't have the account balance to trade that pair, Make more money till you get to the point where you can trade that pair with that account balance, or use your current account size and use a pair that gives you a decent amount of volatility to build your account size up to when you can trade that pair. It's very simple. It's not that complicated. There's no more steps to it. Just do that. And if you apply that, just do it for a week. Just do it for one day. I want you guys, everybody that works a 9 to 5, that you say that you're super tired and everything, just do it for one day. Just try it one day and come back to me and let me know how it went for you. Just try it for one day. One day. Because you will observe something very beautiful by doing this method. You will understand yourself a lot more. It's bigger than just that specific goal. You're going to be more aware and more cautious of the decisions that you make. You will naturally start to see that you have a habit of, let me grab my phone. Let's say you're going to naturally start to see that you have a habit of naturally, every time that, let's say, you get bored or something, you naturally just pick up your phone and just start scrolling. You naturally just start doing that. Every time during this specific thing, when I'm doing this, I naturally just start picking up my phone and doing this. Okay, cool. I'm aware of that. Okay, let me open up trading. It's literally as simple. I have my phone right now. It's literally as simple as, okay, I was gonna go and scroll through social media. Let me get on gold. Let me say, okay, support and resistance. There's a key area here. There's a key area here. Mark that off. Okay, do it on the bodies. Here. Oh, customer coming in. All right, cool. Work with the customer. Cool. Boom. All right, customer going. All right, cool. Let me see. Support here. Resistance here. Okay, how did price react to this area? Okay, price did play. Went to this. Okay, I like the way the bodies is working. Oh, customer. All right, cool. Customer leaves. All right, cool. Let me go here. Let me see how the bodies look. All right, let me clear off the charts. Let me go find another area on my market. Boom, boom. Okay, here. Boom. Customers coming all throughout the day, whenever opportunity that you get. And now you just learned your support resistance and identify exactly how you wanted it in one day or a couple of days, depending on what level that you're at with it. It's literally as simple as that. That you will make a lot more progress than the person that just wants to drain themselves and dry themselves out for 6 hours and try to just do all this extra stuff for no reason. Why? Why would you make your journey more? You already don't like your situation. You already don't want to. You already want to just be full in, locked in on trading. Why would you make your journey terrible? Like, it's not meant to be like that. Because I look at, you're supposed to rejoice. Trading, when God gives you gifts and God gives you blessings, don't ever let your situation downplay the blessing that God gave you, because He can easily take it away. And what I say by this is, trading is one of those gifts. Trading is one of those things where you are the boss and the employee, and you know you don't need to clock in or X, Y, and Z. Don't let this become that system that you're in now. Do you guys not? Let me give you guys some wisdom, some truth. 9 to 5s are meant to do that to you. You guys know that, right? They're meant to brainwash you to believe that. They're meant to, I mean brainwash you in a way to get you in a controlled state of a mind. You have to come here from this time to this time. You have to do this. You this, that, and the third. You listen to this person. If you don't listen to this person, X, Y, and Z, this person pays your bills. This person put foods on the table, X, Y, and Z. And what does it force you to do? You force to become reliant on the system. It forces you to be dependent versus independent. It forces you to rely on them, then rely on God and His gifts that He has for you. Because everything that God gives you, right, it's meant to prosper you. It's meant to take you to a whole different level. The gifts that we have, just think about, and I want you guys to imagine that as well. Imagine what life looks like on the other side. Just like Teresa said, modern day plantation. If you guys look up the actual definition of slavery, let's look up the actual definition of slavery, because I did this before, but I want you guys to actually analyze this. Actually really analyze what this definition means. to show you what you're currently going through right now. This is not the life that you're meant to be living. You're not meant to be a slave to any system. You're meant to be a servant of the Most High. Because I look at those people, right? If you look at all the people, this is why it's very, very important to read your Bible. If you look at all these kings and all these greats, a lot of them, they went through seasons. They went through seasons where they were slaves. They went through seasons where they were workers. Joseph went through that season when he was a slave. He was in prison. He went through that season. Is that how he ended his life? Is that how he ended off? No. Joseph was a king and he prospered. But think about it, right? Did Joseph, let me show you this, right? Did Joseph become prosperous and live that abundant life from being a slave and working that 9 to 5? Because that 9 to 5 was basically him working for that master and doing whatever the master told him to do during that period. Did he gain that wealth from that? No. Did he gain his wealth from working any 9 to 5 job? No. How did Joseph gain his wealth? From using his gift of prophecy. He used that gift to be able to tell the Pharaoh that there's going to be 5 or 6 years of famine and there's going to be 5 to 6 years of flourishing. So what did they do? During those 5 years of flourishing, they took all the crops and everything, all the good things of the land, and they stored it up. And when that famine hit, they had everything, so they was able to take care of everybody. Not only did Joseph take care of himself, but he took care of his people as well. From using what? His gift. Jonah. Did Jonah save and help all those people by working a 9 to 5? No. God told Jonah to go warn the people about what God was going to do. And he used his gift, and God prospered him from it. Abraham. Jesus. Was Jesus working a 9 to 5? Jesus was walking around doing what God told him to do, spreading the truth. Jesus was good. He was good. God provided for him everywhere that he went. David, all these people, they had cattle and they took care of the cattle and everything. Guess what? You taking care of a cattle, guess how God provides you? By taking care of being a herdsman, taking care of a cattle. Now you have unlimited food, unlimited resources of food. You never have to worry about food or anything. If you know how to take care of animals, guess what? You know how to raise animals, chickens, and all these things. Guess what? Now you have an endless supply of food. You don't need to rely on somebody to put food on your table. You know how to actually do it yourself. This is what I mean by that. When you actually really understand that. And that's why I said you have to put yourself in people's shoes. I worked one 9 to 5 in my life. That was when I was 17 or 16 or 17. And I worked at Foot Locker. I've never worked a 9 to 5 type of a job since then. Everything else was like freelancing type of a thing. And I know what it felt like just for that couple of years being younger at Foot Locker and that 9 to 5 mindset. You guys have been working 9 to 5s for a long time. So I gotta put myself in you guys' shoes. And you guys have to understand the under layer of it so you can break free from it. Trading is not a 9 to 5 job. Stop treating it like that. And I get that a lot from people. And I see how brainwashing it can be, and I understand it. Because when you work that 9 to 5, it gets you in that mindset, and you forget that, trading is that thing that all it takes is 1 week. All it takes is one good month, a couple of good months of just locking in, and you can literally go from $100 in your account to $10,000 in your account. You can't do that at your 9 to 5. And what it does is it desensitizes your brain to actually believe that's possible. Because you know at your 9 to 5, you're set at 3,000 a month, 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month. You know that you're set at that. And you keep on thinking that, it's going to take me forever to take $100 account to X, Y, and Z. That is not what trading is like. Trading is not a 9 to 5. You don't get paid bi-weekly, once a month, every week. You get paid you get paid when you show up. You get paid by being obedient and disciplined to your system. If you have a trading strategy and a trading system, you get paid based off of obedience. It doesn't matter. You can get paid daily. You can get paid you can get paid 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Boom. Nice trade. Boom. Go withdraw. Trading is not that. Trading is not the 9 to 5. Stop treating it like that. Stop letting your 9 to 5 make you forget how blessed you are to have this gift. Use your gift. Like me, like my gift is being able to teach in a way and mentor in a way that literally just gets anybody to understand anything. I just understand that's my gift. I understand why God wanted me to do this. I didn't want to do this, but now I see that, yo, this is a gift. Just like I talked about the talents. When God gives you talents, if you don't use those talents, He would take it away from you. But if you use your talents, He will bless you. And I've observed that's just one of my talents. That's why I love to do these videos. That's why I love to have this business. That's why I love to work with people one on one. That's why I love to work with you guys. That's why I love to show up and help you guys, because I know it's like what I'm doing is using my gifts, and I'm not using my gifts in a way to entertain or X, Y, and Z. I know it's like, yo, planting a seed, this can actually really help people. I know this actually works, and I really want to see you guys' lives change. So it requires a lot of things, because think about it. When you are somebody who's in the furnace and you're getting burned up, and you have all these things, if you're in a furnace and you're on fire, all you care about is just your body burning X, Y, and Z. You don't care about anything that's going on around you. Versus somebody who's outside of the furnace looking from the outside in. I'm just sitting here chilling. You're the one that's burning up in here, so I'm sitting here chilling. I can see everything that's going around the X, Y, and Z. I'm able to point those things out. I'm like, oh, this is where the fire is coming from. You don't even know where the fire is coming from. You just work, yo, I'm on fire. I can see, okay, this is where the fire is coming from. Oh, here's the fire extinguisher. Okay, boom, let me. And that's what it's like. It's you guys have so much that's clogging your mind to where all it takes is just that one seed to plant of. What if you just look at this? Just look at it from this perspective. And then it's like, yo, the fog gets more removed away, and now you have more clarity. And that alone plants the seeds. That's what I'm here to do, right? So let me show you guys the definition. Let's look this up. What is the definition of slavery? And before I go to this definition, right? Before I go to this definition, get out the mindset of before I go to the definition of slavery, don't visualize it as somebody with a chain around their neck, slave and whipping and all that stuff. Don't look at it like that. Don't look at slavery like that. Just have a clear mind, and let's just read this definition for what it is and ask yourself, does 9 to 5 sound like this? Just ask yourself that. So let's go to this definition. Yo, these AIs is insane. Slavery is a condition in which one human is being what? Legally. Don't you have to sign agreement papers and everything when you do your job? Owned by another, treated as property, and forced to work without well, you guys get compensate. You guys get compensation for it, but forced to work without compensation. Enslaved individuals are denied basic human rights, stripped of their personal liberty, and compelled to obey their owner's commands. Does that sound like a 9 to 5 guy? Does that sound like a normal 9 to 5 to you guys? Forced labor, ownership as property, loss of freedom, modern slavery, illegal forms according to human trafficking. This is all, that's the extreme level. Like human trafficking and all that, like all of that, that's the extreme level. But guys, think about it. Loss of freedom. Doesn't that sound like 9 to 5s? If you wanted to right now at your 9 to 5 and say, I'm not coming in because I want to go spend time with my kids. I'm going to go spend time with my family. You know, my mother's sick or ill, and I'm just not going to come in today. Can you just say that out of the blue and just not come in? Nope. You got to go through a whole entire process. And a lot of times you can get denied. It's like, no, you got to let us know 72 hours in advance. You got to do this and X, Y, and Z. And if you do say you're not going to come in, I'm going to fire you. Loss of freedom. From 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you are forced to labor to that company that you work for. Loss of freedom. You can't just get up and just do whatever it is you want to do at any time of the day. Loss of freedom. You're legally owned by these companies and you don't get compensation, meaning you can make a company. You guys, these companies, I could take Amazon. But let's take Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a big chain company. Chick-fil-A makes hundreds and millions and billions of dollars, potentially, right? Chick-fil-A as a company makes that. Yet their workers are getting paid less than $20 an hour. You're getting a fraction of what they make. People that work at car dealerships, you could sell a car for $60,000 and you're the one who sold that car. You may get a little bit of commission for it, but it's not like you're getting $30,000 for selling a car. Who's making the most money from it? Let's say you sell a Mercedes. The Mercedes company is making the most for it. You're putting all this work. You know how to sell, and you're getting somebody to buy a Mercedes. The Mercedes that are bought, the more Mercedes companies as a whole make, the more recognition that they get. Yo, we've sold X, Y, and Z Mercedes. We got so many Mercedes sold. They didn't sell it. You sold it. They're getting all the money for it, and they're getting all the recognition and glory for it. You were not. That person that you sold that nice Mercedes to, when people see them driving on the road, they think Mercedes. That is a nice Mercedes. They don't think, yo, what about that person that sold that Mercedes to that person? He made such a great sale to get this person into it. He did something. Y'all see what I'm talking about? It doesn't matter where you do, you're forced to labor. If you guys work a 9 to 5, let me know if you can relate to this, because I observe this from on my end. I experience this as well, but I observe it more because I see it more the more that I like go out. As a 9 to 5 type of person, at work, you're treated completely different versus when you're off of work around friends, family. At work, you're treated like some robot. You're treated like an NPC at work. It's just you get into the same routine. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? And then somebody asks you, yeah, how's your day? And then you just get silent. It's no conversation that happens. Hey, how are you doing? Have a good day. Hey, how are you doing? Have a good day. It's like you're an automated system. Hey, how are you doing? Have a good day. Hey, how are you doing? Have a good day. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, I need this. I need this. I need this. I need this. That's all it is. I need, I need, I need, I need. Nobody comes inside, yo, like, how you doing today? Like, how's your day going? Hope you're having a good day. Why? Because you got a line of people behind you where you can't really have a conversation. People's like, oh, can you hurry up? Can you make this faster? X, Y, and Z. You're just literally some type of a robot to people. Hey, I need this. Do this for me. This happened and X, Y, and Z. Blah 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 blah. You need to fix this, and you didn't even do nothing. You're just a customer support. You did their internet cut off or whatever the case may be, or something happened. I seen that situation happen with what's the place? What's that thing that happened? A shutdown. It was with Verizon. I'll never forget because I remember experiencing that day. It was a while back where with Verizon, the entire network cut down. Because I remember I was at the gym with my boy and I was looking at the phone and it had that thing up there. And I tried to go to certain apps and stuff. I was like, oh, just got no internet connection. Cool, let's get back to work. Let's have fun. And then I realized it was like that for the entirety of the day for like 12 plus hours. And I ended up going to like the Twitter to see like the Verizon and stuff like that. And it was like a world, it was like a wide thing where a lot of people were experiencing that and they were outraged. People were going to the Verizon places and yelling and cussing at the people, but it's like, yo, I'm just a customer. We think I turned off your internet, but you're the one that's getting all of this backlash. They can yell at Verizon all they want to, the Verizon company, whatever. But who's the one that's getting the most backlash? You. So it's like you take on everything. So if something happens and X, Y, and Z, who's the one that gets the force first? Who's the one that gets the first hit of it? You do. Even though it's Verizon's fault as a whole, you're just a customer service representative. But you get the most hate and negativity from it. They don't get it. The CEO of Verizon, chilling. He's living his life, doing whatever it is, his or her, whoever it is. They don't care. When these things type of happen in the company, it's like, oh, cool, fix that. Then he go tell his people to do X, Y, and Z, but you are the one that are selling these phones, and yet you get the most hate for it. What does that sound like to you guys? That sounds like slavery. And when you understand that, once again, you stop treating that gift that God has for you. And then let's think of that, right? Now think of the gift that God gave you. Go back to trading, right? Does trading sound like any of this? Actual trading as a whole, not the mindset of trading, not where you struggling with it and all these emotions that you have, but is trading this same exact thing? Is trading slavery? No. Is walking in your gift, that gift that you have that God for you, do you feel like that is slavery? No. Because for me, like what I do, trading doesn't feel like slavery to me. It's doing business and doing this does not feel like I genuinely love doing this. I get excited to wake up and to see how many people I can help and impact today. I love coming up with new ideas on how I can change people's lives and use my gifts. It's actually exciting. I love to do this. And I do this all throughout the day. I don't, it's not a, okay, clock in. I'm gonna clock in. And just during this period, I'm gonna just try to help people and impact people. And then outside of that, I'm not gonna even care about anybody or want to plant the seed or X, Y, and Z. It don't work like that. I do this all throughout the day, no matter what I do. That's just what I do. It doesn't matter if I'm on these calls. It doesn't matter if I'm texting people. It doesn't matter if I'm out in public, wherever I'm at. That's just my job. I do that for a living. Isn't that such a blessing? For a living, I work for God. I do what God wants me to do. Like I walk in my gift for a living. It doesn't matter. It be 12 at night, 12 o'clock at night, and I'm at the gym working out. I'm still gonna be a blessing. It's not like I gotta clock in and clock out. No, exactly. Teresa said trading feels like freedom to me. Exactly. Simple. That's what it should be. It's like I love being in silence stuff. I love this because I hear the birds outside right now. They're just chirping, flying around, doing their thing. It's just so peaceful. It's so beautiful. They don't have to stress. They're not worried about a 9 to 5 or X, Y, and Z. The word says that. It says, look at the birds, look at all the animals, look at the things that they do. Aren't we greater than them? They don't worry about where their next meal is gonna come from. They know how to go hunt. They know how to gather. They know that guess what? A man that doesn't work don't eat. So they know that if they don't go gather that, they're not gonna eat. And those are some things that you can do to actual actions that you can take in a mindset shift that I wanted to share with you guys for today. And I hope that planted a seed for you guys as well. Oh, this looks beautiful. This looks beautiful. Let me see. Do you guys have any questions for me for today? And also, I do have a offer that I have going on for right now for the, let me fix this. Sorry, my thing froze. Sorry, my thing froze. Cool. But for right now, for the first 10 people, I'm going to be doing an offer for the one-on-one aspect of things. I'm going to discount it for the first 10 people. Right now, there are currently, how many spots do I have left? I have, I believe, 5 spots left. I believe 5 or 4. Because I've just gotten a couple of people. I got one person who I'm gonna be working with a lot on his fitness as well. So that's dope because he's more local as well too. So I can actually train with him in person. But I do want to offer that for the first 10 people because once after 10 people it's gonna go back to my normal price of how I have it at. But I will put it at half a month for those that would like to get offered one-on-one with me personally. And if that's something that's for you, perfect. If not, then perfect as well. As long as it's planted the seed and you guys were able to make some type of a change, some type of impact, then I am cool with that. I am really loving building out this new platform. I'm loving like this whole business idea, man, just building out this new platform. Because with the videos that I have, it's very, very specific. And I broke down the biggest core of those videos that's going to make the biggest impact for you guys is the the list that I have. The way that I have it is whatchamacallit, the reverse pyramid method, the ripple effect, and the full breakdown. Those are like the main, like the core of it. Like the ripple effect that we talked about today, I just do a full breakdown of it more in detail without an hour worth of me talking. And then the reverse pyramid method, same exact thing. And then I break down the entire system flow of it. And then I'm going to have a section because I want to use actual case studies to use for examples. A lot of examples I don't just want to use my examples. I want to use examples of other people as well. So I'm gonna have two different sections in the course. Well, it's gonna be three or four in total. I'm gonna have a section of like my evidence, so literally my entire systems that I do, everything, not just trading, my training system on how I build my systems and how I actually train for me personally in my current stage in life, my trading as well. I'm gonna also have a testimonial side, so it'll be evidence of others and how their system and how we apply the same concept of the five-step system flow to theirs, so you guys can see all the different ways that it works because everybody's different. If I'm just giving my testimonies and things that works for me, bro, there's so many other things. Because once again, that 9 to 5 type of thing, I never had to deal with that with trading. I was never trading and working a 9 to 5. When I started trading, that was when God actually took me away from that 9 to 5, which is a blessing. When I started trading, I stopped working a 9 to 5, so I was never in that trading while trying to manage a 9 to 5, because literally as soon as I came back home, I wanted to lock in on trading. I was gonna go back to that 9 to 5, but all praise to the Most High that it didn't work out, because that's when I started delivery driving. Delivery driving is not a 9 to 5, so had the freedom to. That's what I was doing. Like I look at it now to see that this system is the build, but back then I was doing the same exact thing while I was delivery driving. I was doing micro sessions. I would, as I was delivery driving, whenever I was waiting on an order, I used to always have my computer with me, and I would just study. Boom, go back and study, boom, boom, boom. And when I got home, I would have that deeper session. Or when I first woke up, I would have that deeper session. But all throughout the day, I was getting those hours and those minimum couple of minutes every single time. When I had to wait on the order, boom, boom, boom. And you guys could just literally do the same thing and see how that works. So gold is looking clear right now. As long as gold maintains above this area, price can potentially go up into the next. Let me change this back. Come back up into these highs here potentially, and up into these highs. Now it's just a matter of just looking to flow potentially up into here. What could potentially happen is I see structure shifting a little bit on the 5 minute, higher high, higher low. Price could create a lower high here and then come back down into this area. But the overall momentum is more bullish and bearish. So we're seeing right here this nice bullish variation pattern that formed out right here at an area of support. See what happens here. Price fails here. Price could potentially come up here. This is what the trade look like here. Something here. The way that I would look at it for more, this right here is a super aggressive type stop loss, where this would invalidate the aspect of a potential break and retest of here. This would invalidate buys as a whole. A stop loss below here would invalidate these buys right here for a second as a whole. Because what could happen if I were to just take this off and just look at clear structure? here and just look at clear structure. High, low, lower, high. Price could come down and start rejecting here and then continue to keep pushing up. If price starts breaking below here, price could potentially come back down into this next 1 hour area of support. And that is it for me today, guys. That is all I have for you. Close this. And I hope this planted a seed. I'm going to catch you all tomorrow. Have a blessed day, everybody.